Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Nimble training webinar. My name is Megan Ranger, and I am the content manager here at Nimble. Today we will go through the entire application, and if you have any questions or feedback during today's session, please feel free to type them into the questions box and we'll cover them at the end. But before we get started, let's spend a few minutes discussing what Nimble is. Nimble is an easy-to-use CRM that works for you in Office 365, G Suite, and everywhere else you work. It automatically combines your contacts, communication histories, email inboxes, and calendar appointments. It also integrates with social media and with almost 200 different applications. So let me get into the app itself. So here we are on the lovely Nimble Today page. This page was designed to allow you to completely customize it to your specific needs and the role you play in your company. So before this page starts populating with data, you have to make sure that you've connected everything that you need into Nimble. This is also the first page that you're going to land on when you log into Nimble, and it's just a great way to start your day at a high-level overview to see any upcoming deal activities or any to-dos that you might have to get done for the day, some stay-in-touch reminders, but we'll get more into this a little bit further into the presentation. Let's start by going to the Networks and Imports page. And you do that by clicking this button right here and scrolling down to Networks and Imports. Okay, so here we are. First, you want to make sure that your email account is connected to Nimble. So Nimble supports all email providers as long as they're imap. If you're using Microsoft 365, we have great news for you because connecting your email, calendars, and even importing your contacts can be done with only one click. If you're interested in connecting both your email and calendars and also importing your contacts, you would simply leave all of these boxes checked and click on the Connect Microsoft 365 button. You'll then be asked to log into your Microsoft 365 account and then to pick the contacts you want to import from your Outlook. So you also always want to remember to apply a tag to any contact imports to ensure that both you and all of your other users know who imported what contacts and from where, and also from when, just so you know if anything is outdated or could potentially be outdated. If you're using Gmail, connecting is also very easy. The only difference is that you'll have to scroll a bit down to also be able to connect your Google Calendar, so it doesn't have that same one-click authorization. If you're using any other imap type emails, you would simply select the imap option after clicking the Connect Email Account button. So that would be this right here. And if I went too fast, I'll do it again. It's not on this top bar. It's right underneath it in the import wizard. You go to Email Accounts, and then you would click on imap, and then you could connect from there. So Nimble currently only directly integrates with Twitter in regards to social media accounts. So this means that after you connect your Twitter to Nimble, you'll be able to see the entire history of conversations you've had with your prospects and customers on Twitter directly inside your Nimble account, as well as your email conversations. So you would just click on this button, Import Contacts, and then you don't have to, we actually recommend highly that you do not import all of your Twitter contacts because the likelihood of you having people on your Twitter account that don't need to be on your CRM or in your CRM is pretty high, I would say. So we give you the option to do all if you really wanted to. You can also just import friends. So that would be people that you're following and they're following you back. Obviously people that you're following or just your followers. So, and then you can also apply a tag upon import, again, which is a best practice for sure. So you just want to make sure that you're keeping your database as clean as possible. So Facebook, together with Instagram and LinkedIn, made the business decision a few years ago to close their APIs. So we're unable to directly integrate with them. We do still make it possible for you to use Nimble on all your favorite social networks via our browser extension, which is called Nimble Prospector. And I'll talk about that a little bit more today, a little bit later today. So it's possible to import your LinkedIn connections into Nimble by downloading them from your LinkedIn account and then using our CSV import to bring them into Nimble. So if you wanted to connect to LinkedIn, you would just click here and it gives you a step-by-step on how to do that. It even takes you to the page directly that you can download your contacts into a CSV, and then you would just use this button here to do so. So again, always make sure that you're applying tags to all contact imports. If you want to make sure that your LinkedIn contacts are always up to date in your Nimble account, you can either run this export and import periodically, or you could use the browser extension to bring them in as you add them to your LinkedIn network. Note that Nimble will always automatically merge all duplicates if they have the same email address. So we already covered that you can import contacts into Nimble from a CSV file. So let's go back to the imports page. You would do that by clicking on this button here, the one that says CSV, novel concept. And then you would click on the upload CSV file. And then we'll just use this one. So you can either first make sure that all of your column names correspond with the names of the fields in Nimble, or you can manually map them upon import. If you're transitioning from a different CRM or importing contacts from LinkedIn, it's very likely that we already know what the original file looks like, so we'll give you the option to select from our saved mappings to save you time on mapping the fields manually. So you could see all of the predefined mappings right here. A lot of CRMs. LinkedIn is obviously a big one. Salesforce, Zoho, all that stuff. So we have you covered. So that covers how to bring contacts into Nimble. So let's go back to the Today page, which will then be populated with data. The Today page is completely customizable, as I said earlier, and you and everybody else in your company can pick what widgets they want to see and where. The widgets can also be moved around, so you can either click on the Manage Widgets button right here, or the three dots on the top of the, well, let me close it, or these three dots right here. So you can move the widget, you can hide the widget, or you could duplicate the widget if you wanted to keep track of both yours and your teammates' tasks or deals or anything that you would want. So let's talk about each of these real quick. In the deals widget, you can check the status of your deals and your overall pipeline while taking progressive action directly from the dashboard. So you can click into a deal to access engagement history and current insights on key contacts. You can also update, let me go back. You can also update deal statuses, add notes to existing deals, or create new ones. Let's scroll down to the stage funnel widget. This widget will allow you to track your sales funnel. So you can monitor your active prospects, leads, and opportunities at each stage and see a quick overview of your stages to know where you need to focus to meet your goals. And the pipeline chart widget right here shows all of your deals organized by date. So the color coding on each of the bars that would be on this widget gives you a visual of the amount of the deals that you're managing by the stage they're in for that month. So the tasks widget right here, will help you follow through on all of your to-dos. You can see all of your open tasks, your upcoming tasks, overdue, completed, important, as well as your team members' tasks. So the events widget, which is right here, will allow you to review your meetings for the day. You can select from the drop-down menu right here to either see all of the calendars you've connected to Nimble or select only your personal one. The signals widget right here will let you see how your prospects and customers are interacting with you on Twitter. The highlighted contacts widget will give you the option to see important contacts based on the parameters you've set, such as title, location, company, or interests. To personalize the suggestions for highlighted contacts, you can edit the search criteria within contact keywords in your Nimble settings, and then Nimble will search these keywords in the social and contact bio for your contacts to surface relevant people for you to connect with. So go here. And then, so this is the settings screen, and then you would go to highlighted contacts, and then you can edit these keywords, and then we will start pulling relevant profiles based off of their bio. So let's go to the contacts tab. which is probably where you're going to be spending a lot of your time. The contacts page will probably be one of the ones you'll be using the most because Nimble has a lot of features, but it's a contacts database at its heart. So using this navigation here, you can easily select if you want to see all of your contacts, if you just want to see people, if you just want to see companies. You can also see your recently added, recently contacted, people you've set stay in touch reminders for, as well as removed contacts. And for the removed contacts, the account admin can set how many days they will allow the deleted contacts to stay in the folder. So this is the big picture contact listing, but you can also drill down into what an individual contact record looks like. So on the contact record, you can see all of the basic information about a person at the top, like their name, a picture, their title, and the company they work for, and more. You can also log notes, so I would just click the Add Notes button, follow up today, and you can also add a related contact. And then you could just add it. You can also log any past activities. You can schedule future activities, including the custom activities that your account admin can create in the settings. You can also send templated emails, which are also tracked, and you can create a deal from here. You can also review, edit, and create new tags right here, as well as qualify leads using the fields like ratings, status, source, type, and owner. The individual fields can be customized in settings under data fields. So on the right-hand side of the contact record, under interactions, right here, you will see the entire history of the interactions you've had with this person, including all notes, emails, Twitter messages, deals, and any activities. You can also use the individual tabs, as the main interactions tab might be a little bit overwhelming as the relationship with your customer grows. So under the activities tab right here, you can also use the drop-down menu to select the specific activity that you want to see. So that could be tasks, calls, events, deals, or any custom activities that you've created. The Messages tab will show you all of the emails you and your team members have exchanged with your prospects and customers, and your Twitter interactions would also show up here. And then Notes. Notes are searchable, so once you have several notes, you can easily find the one you're looking for by searching for keywords. So I would just click that, and I could see all of the notes that I have to follow up with him for. The Deals tab will give you an overview of all of the deals associated with this contact. So next to the Interactions tab, you can see the Data Fields tab, in which you can create up to 5 custom tabs, and under each of them up to 200 individual custom fields. All these fields can then be segmented on. So it's ideal to use any specific information you'd like to keep about your prospects and customers. And again, you can configure these data fields under Settings and Data Fields. You and your team can also upload files to contact records from OneDrive, Google Drive, and Dropbox. So when you go back to the main contact listing, you can use our segmentation feature to take quick action at scale. So you can launch segmentation by either clicking into the main search box on the top of the page or clicking the Add Segment button right here. So that would be Segment Search or Add Segment. There's really no difference between the two. I just chose this one. So as an example, let's create a segment using some pretty basic criteria. So I'll say last contacted by me in the last 30 days. And then you can also use and or logic. I'm going to use and email is not empty. But if I've contacted them in the last 30 days, chances are their email address is not empty. So once you have the search, you would click this box, and you can take several actions, such as marking the entire list as important. You can also set a stay in touch reminder, or you can add a tag to this segment. This would be where you could add a stay in touch reminder, and you can do that on a weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual, or custom period. You can also change the contact owner. So depending on how many people you have on your team, so I could have them unassigned or to me or to my colleague. You can also change the privacy. If you had any duplicates, you could merge duplicates, but this is grayed out right now because you can only merge 5 contacts at a time. Another reason why that would be grayed out is if you have a person record and a company record marked, because you can't merge those. You can also export if you're the account admin or the account admin gave you the permission to do so. You can also delete them, but I am not going to. And also, this is only for account admins as well. And then you can also send a group message, which brings us to the next part of the presentation. So here we are on the Group Messages tab. Nimble allows you to send targeted email messages to 100, 200, or 300 contacts per day. So this is a great way to send targeted sales outreach or marketing messages to lists of your contacts. The most common question about Nimble's group messaging we get is if it could replace using a marketing automation system like MailChimp. So we always say no. Our group messaging was designed to be used in conjunction with our segmentation feature and to allow you to send targeted email outreaches. So the biggest advantage of using Nimble's group messaging is that the messages are being sent over your own personal email address, so they will appear as if they were sent from you and not a marketing automation system. And you can choose which email address it comes from right here. And then send, or you can create a subject line. So when composing emails in the group message window, you have the option to use merge tags. So if you pick the first name merge tag, Nimble will automatically grab the first names of everybody on your outreach list that's helping you personalize your message. You can also attach files and use formatting options to further customize your emails. You can also set up an email signature in settings and then going to email settings and either create a new one or copy and paste your existing signature. So I'll just show you where that is right now because it's a very common question. So you go down to settings, then you go to email settings. You can also bulk create email templates from this screen, but this is where you would be able to customize your email signature. You'd also be able to see your unsubscribed list or any whitelisted emails from this screen. So let's go back to that group message. So once you create your email, you also have the option to save it as a template, which saves you time on retyping the same message again in the future. And you can also pick from any existing template. So in order to save it, you would click this button right here, or you can choose an available template. So, but obviously selecting a template will overwrite the content that you put in the message. And also these templates are shareable, so you can share them with anybody on your team. So before you send your outreach, you can always send yourself a test message and make sure that everything looks good, that there's no typos in the message, and any links you may have added work. So that would be right next to the send button. And after you've sent your message, you can review the insights on your clicks and opens. But before I go into the report tab, obviously because I used the rule that I only wanted people that had email addresses for this segment, I don't have any errors, but if I did, that would mean that I don't have someone's email address. And they would pop up here, and you would have the option to use our enrichment credits to look up their email address and contact info. So let's go back to the list. And then this would be a report of all of the messages that you've sent. So in the report, you can see how people are interacting with your message. You'll see how many people opened your message, how many of them clicked on the links you included, and how many people have not opened your message yet. You can then use these insights to follow up with people that open more than once or twice and send them another possibly templated message. So from this screen, you can send a new message, or you can tag these people. And if you have desktop notifications enabled, you can mute them for a certain amount of time. So this is the activities listing tab, and it provides you with a comprehensive table of scheduled and completed activities. The table columns can be configured to quickly see which data is important to you, and you can do that from here. You can pin columns, you can drag and drop them, changing the order of them. You can also restore to default settings if you get totally lost. So you can also export your activities by clicking on this button here. And you can also choose which team member you want to see their activities for. So I could just see mine, or I could see my colleagues, or I could see both. You can also quick filter, see only tasks, events, calls are completed, or any saved filters that you have. You can also run a report for a specific time frame. Yeah, I think that kind of covers what this listing tab does, obviously, and you can add an activity. Let's go back to the deals tab. And then, so you can use the deals feature to manage sales opportunities, marketing projects, regular projects, renewals, and more. So even if you're not a salesperson, you can probably find a good use case to use the pipelines to track any upcoming initiatives that you have up in the air. And you can also create as many pipelines as you want. The account owner can delegate permissions to different users to be able to configure and create pipelines. To create a new pipeline or to edit an existing pipeline, you would go to the Customize Pipeline button right here. So to create a brand new pipeline, you would click on the Add Pipeline button, and you would name it. Very creative name, I know. So once it's created, you would click into it, and this is where you can add the stages of your pipeline, and you can set a limit of the days in the stage, and you can also add a range. And then you can just keep going. That was supposed to say intro, sorry. You can keep adding as many stages as you need. So when you go back to the main deals tab, you can select to see the list of the deals in a pipeline or a list. I prefer this view. And you can also choose which pipeline you want to see. So if I wanted to go to this one, you can also toggle between owners or also deals that are won, lost, or stuck. So to create a new deal, you'd click this button in the top left-hand corner. And then from here, you can name the deal, relate the deal to multiple contacts and companies. You can add the valued amount of the deal. You can schedule an expected close date. You could also project the probability of closing, and you can also choose the beginning stage of your deal. So to export the deals, you would just click this Export to CVS button. Pretty straightforward. You can also choose which deals you would like to export. So you could do all, active, won, lost, or specifically assigned to a team member. And then we would go to the Reports tab. So Nimble enables you to build reports for specific pipelines for your team as a whole or by individual user during any time period you select. So you would choose from one of our preset time periods or use the calendars towards the top of the page to set your own. So the Forecasted Deals tab would show you any future deal outlooks. So you can sort by 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and specific time intervals. The dashboard is where you can view yourself and your team members' deal progress at a quick glance. And then deal history is where you may view all historic deal results, sorting by time intervals. So we've covered all of the main features of the Nimble app itself. So I wanted to take a second to talk about how to use Nimble Prospector. So again, Nimble Prospector is our browser extension, and it's available for Firefox, Chrome, Edge, and Safari. It works on any website, in any third-party cloud-based application, and on any social media platform. And so we'll start on LinkedIn just because that's where a lot of people spend their time. Okay, so the Nimble Prospector browser extension will allow you to create new records and update existing ones straight from LinkedIn. So in order to do that, you obviously have to have the browser extension uploaded. So Vivian, if you don't mind going to the Nimble homepage and going to the Prospector page, which you can navigate to at the top of the toolbar, and then just putting a link to that so that people can download it, that would be great. So after you have it uploaded, you can just hover over any hyperlinked name and it'll start making contact records for you. So you can see that I'm already kind of pulling up information on him. But to make it, I don't have any interactions with this person, so it's not that exciting. So I'll go to John's, the Nimble CEO. And if you were to go try to pull up a contact record from the person's individual LinkedIn profile, like so their name wouldn't be hyperlinked. Oops. All you'd have to do is highlight their name and it'll pull up the same information. So you can see way more information because I have more interactions with him. So you can see all of your deal information, upcoming activities, past activities. We give you a smart summary on that person, lead fields, and you can also edit the tags from here as well. So you can also use Nimble Prospector on any company website. So we'll pick on Microsoft. You can open it up on any website and it'll either bring up an existing contact record or automatically create a new one for you. So you can see that it's bringing up a bunch of Microsoft contact records and Twitter handles and all that stuff. So you can also use this on the About Us section of a page, like a team member, like a team page, when prospecting to help you add people's information into your Nimble database. So let's look at how Nimble Prospector works on Outlook. So after you install the Nimble Outlook add-on, you'll be able to just click on the Nimble icon right here and bring it up. If you open it up in an email from a person that you already have an existing contact record for, like Yajis, you'll be able to update the record as well as mark the contact as important. You can set a stay in touch reminder for them. You can create notes, tasks, deals, and more. You can also see the history of interactions. So all of these right here. And as I said, you can add tags. The Nimble Outlook add-on is also available in the web version of Outlook. The UI is slightly different, so instead of being able to just click on the Nimble icon, you'd have to click on the three dots of an email, scroll down the menu, and then select the Nimble add-on. If you're using Google Chrome, which most people are, and you're using Gmail, and I've already installed the Nimble Prospector extension, it'll come up automatically on the right-hand side. So you'll be able to do everything that we already covered. So that covers the general overview for the Nimble app as well as Nimble Prospector. And before we get into questions, I just wanted to take a second to talk about our next training webinars. So next week we'll be doing Nimble for Teams, and that's not to be confused with Microsoft Teams. It's just how people can use Nimble as a team and best practices and the features that we have to kind of streamline collaborative work. So we also have another general overview as well as a webinar on using segmentation, group messaging, and custom fields. And then we will have another general overview. So you can sign up for all of these on our webinar page. And Nadia, if you could drop the link to that, that would be super great. We also have a special offer for new users. So if you sign up today, you get 30 days of Nimble for free. So Nadia, if you can also drop a link to that offer, that would be fantastic. And if you're already in trial, you can just reach out to care@nimble.com and we will honor the 30 days for you as well. So now let's go on to questions. Let me just get situated here. David is asking, I want to add multiple subsidiaries under a company contact. Is there a way to do so that will also show as a contact in companies? I know you can add a data field, but will those subsidiaries show as a contact, or do I need to enter them as a separate contact to show instead of having to click through the parent company? I want to be sure that they're linked together so that I can easily see that the subsidiary is connected to a parent. So contacts from the same company will automatically appear in the linked contacts tab of a company record. So I hope that's helpful for you. Scott is asking, can you import companies as companies instead of companies coming in as a contact? I.e., we have an Excel file of 10K companies and would like to import them, then add contacts to the companies. So with the company conversion capability, you can easily change a contact to a company and vice versa directly from the contact record. And Vivian, if you wouldn't mind sharing the link to that support article with Scott, that would be very helpful. David is asking, can other users see my tasks and calendars and more? So at the time, we do not offer task privacy, and all team members can view each other's tasks by toggling to see each other's activities in the activities tab. So as for your calendar, you can definitely set it as private in your settings. Sofo's asking, how do you report pipeline if everyone has custom stages? So you can view reports on each of your pipelines individually in the reports tab in Nimble. Andreas is asking, do you recommend to work exclusively in Nimble or in Nimble and Outlook in parallel? I would say Nimble and Outlook in parallel, just so that you can make sure that all of your contacts from Outlook are always up to date in your Nimble. Karen is asking, is there a way to get real-time support in getting this set up? I had issues uploading my CSV and need to work with someone to get it done. Also, is there one-on-one training to get maximum benefit? Yes, we actually do offer one-on-one training, so or demo, and I will be sure to include the link to that, how to sign up to it, in the follow-up email. So you can just definitely pick a time on the calendar that works for you, and it's like a 30-minute window with one of our specialists. We also have daily Q&A sessions with our care team at 9 a.m. Pacific, but those aren't exactly guaranteed to be one-on-one. You could get lucky and be the only person on the line, but they're open to the public. So if you want a one-on-one support like that, I would say that the demo that I'm going to send the link to at the end of the webinar would be your best bet. So Oppo's asking, can you set pipeline stages, which is followed by others, or they have to create their own stages? You actually can set the permissions of people that can create pipelines and deals. So if you want people to have individual pipelines, you can give them permission to do so, and they can create their own custom stages for that pipeline. Okay, I'm just gonna give it a couple minutes to see if any more questions come up. Okay, it doesn't look like we have any more questions coming in, so thank you for joining us today. I hope that the presentation was helpful, and sign up for any of our upcoming training webinars and definitely take advantage of that exciting offer. And we'll see you next week.